In today's world, conversations around gender identity are becoming more visible and necessary. Yet, despite progress and awareness, transgender individuals, especially transgender girls, often face harmful stereotypes and misunderstandings that can profoundly impact their lives. These misconceptions are not just harmless myths. They shape the way society treats transgender people, affecting everything from their mental health to their access to education and basic rights. Think about this. How often do we stop to question the assumptions we hold about others, especially those whose experiences differ from our own? For many transgender girls, being themselves means constantly battling false narratives that cast doubt on their identity and worth. These misconceptions don't just misrepresent who they are, they also create unnecessary barriers in their pursuit of happiness, safety, and equality. But here's the thing. Many of these beliefs are based on myths rather than facts. They stem from a lack of understanding, fear of the unfamiliar, or cultural biases that have been passed down for generations. The good news? We can break these down through education, empathy, and open dialogue. In this discussion, we'll explore 5 of the most common misconceptions about transgender girls. From the idea that they're just boys who like dresses to the false belief that they pose a danger to others, we'll uncover the truth behind these harmful myths. Whether you're here to educate yourself, support a loved one, or simply learn more, this is your opportunity to challenge these stereotypes and become an ally in the fight for inclusivity and understanding. Let's dive in, dismantle these misconceptions, and replace them with compassion and truth. Together, we can build a world where transgender girls and everyone are celebrated for who they truly are. One of the most pervasive misconceptions is the belief that transgender girls are simply boys who enjoy wearing dresses or playing with dolls. While this idea might stem from stereotypes about gender expression, it's fundamentally incorrect. Transgender girls are not defined by the clothes they wear or the activities they enjoy. Being a transgender girl means identifying as female regardless of societal expectations for boys or girls. It's not about outward appearances. It's about an intrinsic sense of self. Gender identity is deeply rooted in who someone is, and it's not a choice or a preference. For transgender girls, identifying as female is a profound truth about themselves, not a superficial desire to adopt traditionally feminine traits. Recognizing this can help dispel the stereotype and validate their lived experiences. Another common misconception is that transgender girls are simply confused or experimenting with their identity, assuming they'll grow out of it with time. This belief dismisses the clarity many transgender individuals have about their gender identity, even at a young age. For many transgender people, the realization of their gender identity often starts in childhood. These feelings are not fleeting or impulsive, they are consistent and persistent. Medical and psychological experts widely agree that being transgender is not a phase, but a legitimate aspect of human diversity. It's important to understand that questioning one's identity is a natural part of human growth. However, transgender individuals who come out typically do so after a thoughtful and personal journey of self-discovery. To call it a phase diminishes their courage and invalidates their lived experiences. A particularly hurtful stereotype is the idea that transgender girls are pretending or exaggerating their identity to gain attention. This misconception trivializes the struggles transgender individuals face and ignores the risks they often take in living authentically. Coming out as transgender is not a decision made lightly. Transgender girls often face rejection, discrimination, and even violence simply for being themselves. Why would anyone subject themselves to such challenges for the sake of attention? The truth is, most transgender individuals are not seeking fame or recognition. They're simply trying to live authentically and find acceptance. By understanding this, we can move away from harmful assumptions and toward genuine support for transgender individuals as they navigate their journeys. A deeply damaging misconception is that transgender girls pose a threat to other children. This idea often stems from fear or misinformation, but it has no basis in reality. Transgender girls are just as diverse in their behaviors and personalities as any other group of children. There's no evidence to suggest they are more likely to harm others. In fact, transgender children are more often the targets of bullying and discrimination rather than the perpetrators of it. Promoting inclusivity and education can help combat this stereotype. By fostering environments where all children, regardless of their gender identity, feel safe and respected, we can break down the walls of fear and ignorance that fuel such misconceptions. Perhaps one of the most hotly debated topics is whether transgender girls should be allowed to use the bathrooms or locker rooms that match their gender identity. Opponents argue that this infringes on the privacy or safety of others, but such claims are not supported by evidence. Transgender girls, like anyone else, deserve to use facilities where they feel safe and respected. Forcing them to use facilities that don't align with their identity can lead to humiliation, anxiety, and even danger. It's not about special treatment, it's about ensuring basic human dignity. Furthermore, the idea that allowing transgender individuals to use facilities that align with their gender identity poses a safety risk is unfounded. Multiple studies and policies around the world have shown no increase in safety issues when inclusive bathroom policies are implemented. Misconceptions about transgender girls often stem from a lack of understanding or exposure to transgender individuals. Education and open-mindedness are crucial in breaking down these stereotypes. By listening to transgender voices, we can replace fear and ignorance with empathy and acceptance. It's essential to recognize transgender girls as individuals deserving of respect, support, and the freedom to live authentically. When we challenge these misconceptions, we take steps toward a society where everyone, regardless of gender identity, can thrive. Let's remember that at the heart of this conversation are real people with hopes, dreams, and feelings. Supporting transgender girls means affirming their identities, celebrating their courage, and advocating for their rights. Each of us has the power to create a more understanding and compassionate world. By challenging misconceptions and embracing truths, we can uplift those whose voices have been silenced by stereotypes. Transgender girls, like everyone, deserve to live authentically, free from judgment and fear. When we replace ignorance with empathy and stand as allies, we affirm the dignity and worth of all individuals. Together, we can create a world where misconceptions are replaced by compassion and understanding.
We hope you found the information helpful. We know that being transgender can be a difficult journey, and we want to do our part to make it a little bit easier. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel. It would mean the world to us. You can also support our work by joining our membership. This will help us continue to create content that is helpful and supportive for the community. Thank you again for watching, and we hope to see you next time.